Yo, welcome into another episode of Capturing the Game. It's the Game Within the Game podcast featuring me, your host, Desmond Jones, and my man's the one and only Juwan Polo Man Stewart. Yo, today we got another special guest, but before we talk about today's special guest, we want to remind the audience that Capturing the Game is presented by Capture Sports Agency, where the CEO and founder is Charlton Smith Jones. We appreciate all the love, the support that everyone's been doing so far. Thank you to Gio for doing the edits for some of these. Thank you for Jordan for producing the beats that you are now listening to right now. Also, we want to remind the audience of fans and listeners that you can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, on all the social media platforms. We out there, CCG_podcast. With that being said, let's talk about today's guest. He is the NBPA NFL FIBA Certified Player Agent. His name is Rolando Shannon. Rolando, man, how you doing?
Doing well, man. Salute to you guys. Thank you guys for having me.
No problem, man. I'm looking forward to get a chance to meet you, man. I'm just reading up your career, but you sound like an interesting, dope person, as all of our guests have been so far. But let's go ahead and get started, Rolando. Go ahead and tell the audience who you are and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, sir. My name is Rolando Shannon from Nashville, Tennessee. Grew up in Nashville, played football and basketball in high school. Preferred to play basketball. But I was a pretty good football player, so went on to college and played for a few years. Got out of college with a biology degree, went to Carson-Newman University, played at Carson-Newman University, came home, worked, found a pretty dope program at a local school, Belmont University here in Nashville. Decided to get my master's in sport administration, obtained that. From there, I pursued a career I always wanted, and that was to be a sports agent. So I obtained my master's, took my NFLPA certification test, and here I am today. I'm still trying to build on those certifications, man, become one of the most diverse sports agents in the world.
And you said that you got your bachelor's in biology?
Yes, sir.
So how was, crazy. I mean, that's a big switch. Like that's right? Biology is one thing, but like sports and all that is a whole nother. Like what made you go down the biology path?
Man, let me tell you, it's kind of a funny, weird story, man. So, to be honest, I really wanted to major in meteorology. So I wanted to do the weather.
You wanted to be a weather person. Yes. Okay.
Wow. So growing up, my dreams were one of two things: either be a sports agent or a meteorologist. So okay. I thought I was going to be a sports agent by majoring in biology, realizing no, you got to major in meteorology. Luckily, my senior year of college, though, I was able to obtain an externship with the National Weather Service, the NOAA National Weather Service in Morristown, Tennessee. So I worked there for like half a year, man. That was a ball. Chased storms, did all kind of stuff, and was even going to go to another school to obtain my meteorology degree. But I kind of made a pivot during some decisions, man. I had a friend who made it to the NFL, and he was just telling me a lot about the game. And I had one of my friends who was like one of my groomsmen in my wedding. He was an agent. He became an agent. He was convinced me to do it, man. So I made that hard pivot and decided to go that route.
That's definitely a hard pivot. I can't change that one.
Yeah,
but
man.
It's funny though, because I mean, Desmond, you may not know this, but like I was supposed to be a meteorologist myself, but I didn't pick that up because like when I was younger, I used to be this kid that always would like guess the weather and stuff. Like usually I'd be right like 90% of the time. Whatever. My grandma and aunts and uncles would come and ask me like, "Hey, what the weather gonna be like tomorrow?" I'm looking at the clouds. It might be a little rainy. Be all right. Whatever you got going on. And I usually be right. Right. And then it's like, well, yeah, I used to be the weather person. I'm like, yo, that ain't my desire. Like them people get on TV and just be saying stuff.
I can picture you doing that though. Be out there with a nice all fresh, suit and tie, jacket.
I could, but no.
You could talk about the sports, you can talk to the weather. Like what?
No. Couldn't do it. Because then I'm like, if I ever was to be wrong, like had a streak of being wrong, people gonna be coming at my head. No, I ain't got time for that.
You seem like you would have been the Stephen A of it, and you just would have just went harder.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom. He knows this man already.
Well, okay, so funny thing about that. Hold on. Funny thing about that now. People call me Stephen A. Jr. I don't know what that is. Why call me Stephen A. Jr. So the fact that you said that, that's why Desmond got all hype, because people said that about me already.
That's what I said. 10 minutes into the episode,
Yeah,
you already give him the Stephen A. vibes.
So I can't even say nothing. Like, he got me stumped right now. I can't even say nothing. Go ahead, Desmond. Ask your questions. I can't say nothing.
Oh man. Who was that friend that convinced you to be like, yo, like, come check out this NFL, like, come be an agent? Who's that friend?
His name is Tony Richardson, man. So he's from Miami. He played football at Carson Newman as well. We actually developed a really tight, one of my best friends, man, a really tight rapport in college, and became close and never really just stopped our relationship. And he actually has been doing it ever since college. So after we graduated, he received a blessing, man. And Big Terrence Knighton, who was a former Pro Bowler, he played about 10 years ago, was good friends with one of his other good friends, and he became Big Terrence Knighton's agent. So now he has like Devin Singletary from the Buffalo Bills, James Pierre from the Steelers, and several more clients, man. So he's doing his thing right now.
That's hella dope. Like, super hella dope. What's like, so when you made that pivot to decide to be a sports agent, what's some of the things that you had to learn, in order to use you studying biology, but what's some of the things you had to, like, learn or find out, as you became a sports agent?
Man, another weird situation that I didn't mention before, man, was I had took a turn towards law school, and I was actually in law school very, very briefly. And I was like sticking my chest out, like, yeah, I got in here. I took the LSAT. I got in. I'm about to be the big sports agent ever. And every professor kept telling me, you don't need this to be a sports agent. You don't need this to be a sports agent. So at that point in time, man, I just kind of took another pivot and decided, man, let me just go ahead and take this NFLPA test and not go into another $100,000 worth of debt, and go ahead and just pursue the dream now, But to answer your question, I had to learn a lot of legalities about it, man. Like, I didn't realize the severity of it legally, man. Like, having to get insurance on your certifications and different things like that. But that was very, very deep knowledge that I had to know and understand.
So it's good to say that we could all say he's very well versed. Man could have been a meteorologist. He could be a biologist.
Right. This man could be anything.
He's a lawyer. Man could have did anything he wanted. Like, he's great.
The best word to describe me in the past: confused.
Man,
just confused.
Or you could say that. Jack of all trades. That sounds better.
I'll take that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because, like, what? Like, this man knows biology, could have been, telling you what the weather is, was almost a lawyer, and he's a sports agent. Like, he, relatable, any career. Oh yeah, I did some of that before. What?
Yeah, man. I pretty much, if you named it, I've pretty much done it, man.
So, okay. So, with you, so what was it like getting that first client for you as being a sports agent? What was that moment for you,
Huge blessing, man. Huge blessing. When you become a sports agent, you become certified. Believe it or not, man, you get a lot of emails, you get a lot of phone calls, a lot of text messages from prospective clients and prospective individuals just saying, hey, I need you to help me get a shot. Hey, I need you to help me get into the league. Hey, can you help me do this? Can you help me do that? A lot of times, to be honest with you, God bless those individuals, but a lot of times, probably nearly 10 times out of 10, but I'll say like 9.6 out of 10, those guys probably are, beyond the age of typical rookie, probably don't have the skill level, and things of that nature. I was actually blessed, man, that some guys who really had some real talent reached out and some people hooked me up, man. So I went to a pretty strong football school in Nashville by the name of Pearl-Cohn High School, man. And the former coach, the head coach at Pearl-Cohn was my former coach. And he reached out about a player from Vanderbilt University who was having trouble with his agent, was looking to sign with someone else. And he kind of hooked us up. So me and that player and his family had lunch and dinner. And it was some real long talks, man. But he ended up signing with me that day. And that was a big blessing.
So, well, I don't know what happened. I lost my train of thought of a question I was going to ask you before, but you had said to backtrack a little bit, but you said you need insurance on your, certifications and things of that nature. Like what type of insurance? Like, I'm just curious from my own knowledge just to know.
You know what, to be honest with you, man, that's really a great question. It's really a great question. As crazy as it sounds, every year, a lot of NFLPA certified agents are pissed because we have to pay for it or we can't go get our own. But honestly, the PA requires us to get insurance from a company, a $1,500 insurance, just to secure our license and our practices. I guess to cover us if we violate any practices that could get us in legal trouble and things like that. So, I mean, of course, most agents are attorneys.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of us aren't, but most of them are. So I guess just to protect us in legal purposes. No one ever really, in full transparency, explained to me thoroughly what it's for. And when I talked to my partner, who is based out of Miami. His name is Eric Shane. He doesn't even know what it's for. He's like, dude, it's just extra money we have to pay. But it's pretty expensive insurance.
Okay. That's pretty expensive insurance. Is there a company that it just goes to?
Yeah.
Who owns the insurance policy or whatever?
Philadelphia. I'm actually looking up the name of the company. I literally was just looking at the receipt for me paying it. Philadelphia Insurance Companies.
Somebody getting rich for nothing.
Yeah. What about the insurance,
man, that's crazy.
I'm actually looking at the receipt as we speak, man. Every year I have to pay it.
So this is a yearly renewal, basically, for insurance.
Yes. So once you, of course, you have your agent dues due every year. Your PA dues as an agent, based on the amount of clients that you have that have NFL contracts. Wow. So anywhere from 0 to 10 is like $1,500, and 10 and over is $2,500. So on top of that, you have to add that $1,500 for the insurance.
Yeah, you're taxing boys, ain't they?
Man,
you're taxing boys. I didn't know all this was going on in the world of sports behind the scenes. Like the agent got to pay their dues and all that. Like it's a society or something. Like that's kind of
the biggest thing I'm understanding is I see why it's such a grimy business now. Like I really see why people are hustling the way they hustle, man. Because at this point, man, I've spent so much money doing this that I have the utmost faith that it has to come back tenfold. Like I've spent so much money, but you know what? I love it, and I'm appreciative of it, and I thank God for the opportunity.
Most definitely.
Amen. Yeah, most definitely. So, okay, so that's some of the stuff that you talk about. You talk about the agent dues, the insurance. What's some of the other like misconceptions that kind of goes along with being an agent? Because some people just think, oh, I'm an agent, so they just need this. I just supply this. Like, but you always talk about some of the fees and stuff. What's some of the other things that people just don't really know about when it comes to being an agent?
The biggest thing that I want to get out there is, and I have to say this, and this is for all prospective players who are going to look at this interview. An agent is not responsible for getting you into the league. I had to say that very thoroughly and very clearly, man. I think the biggest misconception is people feel like, hey, Desmond, man, you had a really good season. You're going to sign with this agent right here. That means you're automatically going to get a tryout with the Colts and the Bengals and the Eagles next year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. Like, it's still very difficult to get into the NFL. So ideally, from the NFL perspective, NBA, I'm still fairly new. I just got that this year, earlier this year, and I'm still learning. FIBA as well. But from an NFL perspective, typically how it runs is, as you know, the season is ending for a lot of college teams right now. So guys are signing with their agents.
Right.
We typically front the money on the front end. And I know you guys have talked to a lot of NFL agents, but I don't know if they gave you like the full push, but I'll give it to you again just in case. You front them the money to train on the front end, possibly housing, food, nutritionists, rental car, with the expectation that that guy's going to like probably make a team and get a contract that's going to have that money come back, as well as your agent fees. So typically a lot of times too, man, like you have guys who don't really have a good chance of making it, but they went to a Power 5 school. So let's just say, for instance, Jawan played for Clemson, but Jawan only got in 2 games and had 3 tackles. But Jawan's going to come to me because he played for Clemson and that was his final year. And he's going to say, hey, Rolando, I want to train in Arizona. I want a G-Wagon rental. I want a nutritionist. And I'm like, respectfully, homie, your chance of making the team is not too much. So, I mean, it's a business deal. I don't mind signing you and working for you and trying to get you an opportunity in the league. But from a business standpoint, I can't spend $40,000 on you and absolutely have no return.
Oh, wow. That part I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's deep, bro.
So that makes sense now. So thinking about, okay, that makes sense. Okay. Wow. Okay. Cool.
It's all about the investment and return, to be honest with you, man. So typically, while the big agents are so successful, I know you guys talked to Lee, he's a great guy as well. Typically how the big agents stay successful is they have the money to front these guys and give these guys a nice amount of money prior to them getting into the NFL. The small guys like me don't have as much money to give the small guys. So that's typically why the bigger guys sign with those guys. However, those guys have to realize too, man, you have to pay that money back or that money's going to go back. Clinton Portis actually had a pretty dope interview last year that I seen where he talked about when he first got his first $1 million check and his agent was like, yeah, go ahead and wire me that $500,000. He was like, what? He's like, what you mean? He was like, yeah, your pre-draft party, the limos, this, all the money I spent, I need that back. So a lot of these guys feel like they're going to go out there and the agents is giving them money. They don't realize, man, you're going into debt. But if the guy doesn't make the league, that's a loss on us.
Right.
So it's deep, man.
Yeah, we gotta choose. You gotta choose wisely out here.
Oh my God. That's why right now it's such a happy but stressful time because, you know, right now, honestly, in full transparency, I'm literally in the middle of a process with my team of evaluating training packages that we want to offer certain guys. And there's certain guys, man, who honestly just want too much. And sometime this week, I'm gonna have to give them a call and let them know, like, hey, Merry Christmas. I love you. God bless you. I want to represent you. But I can't give you this kind of training package, man, because the odds of you making the team not very good.
I mean, that'd be a tough conversation to have with somebody, especially like they think they top level. And then,
everyone think that top level.
Yeah, like, and you know, it's like realistically speaking, like you was like 6 or 7 best, like in your position on your team. Like, you think you about to make an NFL roster when there's 5 other people better than you on the team already currently, plus the other 50, 60 schools that are better. Like, it's like, whoo, boy. Like, you know,
based on how you just said that, you are now considered my brother. Thank you for saying it just like that. Like, I really wish you could just say that to some of these players that I've had conversations with, and like, I'm a really, really nice guy. And honestly, I'm probably too nice. So sometimes like it's really hard for me to just say like, you're not that guy. You know what I mean? Like, you're not that guy. But I don't know, man. Maybe with growth and more experience, I'll become, more of a guy who can say stuff like that. Like, hey, man, you're not that guy. I'm sorry, but you're not that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I get that. Like, it's hard. Like, that would be like,
it is.
I mean, I've had some conversations like that with people at work, but like, it takes time to develop it, but it's like, yo, dang, like, some of these athletes, like I see certain ones that was from Indiana, like since we from Fort Wayne, like that kind of certain players that I know, I'm like, okay, like you like the 20th best person in the state, you playing basketball, it's only 12 people on the roster. I don't think you're gonna make it. Like, I just don't think this is it. Like, you need to plan B overseas. Like, you might be able to make it over there. But I'm sorry, like you was killing boys around here, but that ain't no, that's not D1 level. Like, that ain't D1 right now. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you know what I mean? But
that's facts, Juwan. That's facts, man.
It's just hard to tell people that, and they just be looking at you.
It is.
Wow, that's how you feel. Like, I'm being honest. Like, I've seen greatness, and then I've seen you good around here, but not the
around here,
not the blue chip like level of UConn or the Dukes of the, like, you all right, like, you cool,
and you still want to represent them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you still want to like be their agent, but it's just like, no, I can't give you 45 grand. I'm sorry, I can't send you to Bommarito. I can't send you to EXO.
Right.
I can't send you to these high-level training facilities that these high-level guys train at. I know you want to be around Dwayne Wade. I know you want to see LeBron. I know you want to see AD. But there's a good training facility down the street that I can send you to that can get you some good.
Get you right.
Yeah.
So we can get you right just for less.
Right.
Get you where you need to be. I just can't do all that. I can't spend the 40 G's. I can spend about half that and get you to the same spot you would be if you was to go way out there.
Right.
And that's, I think, for me, if I was a person in that, on the flip side, like a player that I think that I'm X level, like, if somebody tell me honestly, like, you asking for too much, and I want to keep it, like, to a degree in the family type of thing. If I want you to like represent me, I'm gonna be like, all right, I could do half. Like, if you don't like, let me get to a point that I could be like, cool. Like, my mentality different than most players' mentalities would be, because they gonna be like, well, I think I'm X, Y, and Z. But it's like, your mentality up here, like, I get it. Like, it's good to have confidence, but it's when you overshoot it, it's like, what happens if it falls flat at the end of the day? Like, you,
on top of that, if they get injured in the process, it's definitely a wrap.
Yeah, right. So, sheesh. That's
crazy. Man. I mean, to be honest with you, it's kind of like, I think you guys are going to be one of the best podcasts. You are one of the best podcasts in the nation, but I think you're going to keep growing to get those numbers and get that notoriety and get that to the level that you want to be at. And you have to make a decision, like, will you bring in a popular co-host who wants a boatload of money, somebody who's already been on TV and hosting shows?
Yeah.
Let's just, for hypothetical speak, let's just say Bomani Jones wants to join the show. He wants to join Capturing the Sports, and he wants a certain amount of money, and you guys are looking at him like, hey,
I'd be like, one.
You gonna look at me? I'm be like, you gonna have to pipe that
like,
down a
cool
little bit.
And all,
like,
but
yeah, that's the thing, man. It's like, honestly, like, even what you said, Juwan, like, what somebody wanting half is still a level of like, can I at least make that back? Because the purpose of me investing money into an athlete is, again, my time and my effort and my heart that I'm going to give to you regardless, I feel like it's going to be worth more than the money I can give you, period. And I know that sounds weak, but I'm just being honest. I'm going to really work hard for you. But for me to invest thousands of dollars in you with the expectation that I may not see it back would not be a smart move business-wise.
Yeah, it's tough. So I guess let me ask this. So what if you have you ever had that moment where you wanted to take that risk? Like that person from the outlook, like, you always got those gems that come in every now and then. Have you ever had that moment where you're like, you ain't it, but I'm willing for this one to take the risk to see if it pans out?
It's crazy you asked that, man. I'm in that moment literally right now. I'm in talks with a couple of Power 5 guys, but there's a Power 5 guy who he's huge, man. Like he's like Cam Chancellor huge.
Oh,
but
Legion of Boom type huge.
Okay. Yeah, but he had some big games this season, man. But I just, based on me talking to scouts, I don't know if he will get that opportunity. So it's like I want to give him some kind of like nice training package because I really want him. Yet at the same time, I just don't know if it's going to come back.
Gotcha. Okay. I was always curious because like when you said it that way, then it's like, okay, what about those agents that do take that risk, that just calculated risk and say, you know what, Bumper, I'm going to try it on this guy because I think he the one. And then, he's the top 5 player in the league. Like, great. All right, cool. We good. We banking that back. We good.
Heartbreaking story, man, real quick. There was a guy that me and my partner, it was a guy that I was really close with, and I'm still close with. Like, we still talk. Mm-hmm. I can still text him right now. He's playing on Sundays with the Broncos, and I really wanted to give him a good package, man. And my partner just didn't believe in him. Mm. He made the team. Mm. And when I tell you sick, sick. I had some of those types.
Yo, so amongst those lines, so one thing, like, Juwan talk about the people that you're willing to take the risk for, and that's hard. As some of these people that you're willing to take the risk for, and it doesn't pan out, it kind of impacts your decisions for other people going in the future, because you think back to that decision that you just made, like, hey, the last time I did this decision, this person ain't make it. So am I real? Like that's hard.
Yeah.
My partner, man, my partner passed the test a year before I did. And when he first got out, I was still working with him. He signed 3 guys out of Florida State, 1 guy out of Sanford, and 1 guy out of Boston College. The Boston College kid actually signed with the Tennessee Titans. But then he got cut and retired. Even though other teams wanted to sign him after he got cut, he retired. He spent probably a total of $110,000 on all of these guys because he felt like that's how he was supposed to move. $110,000 loss. None of them actually panned out. The only guy who made the team retired. So that's why last year when I wanted to make a move on the guy who's actually playing now, he was so hesitant. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just you guys got it, man. You connecting the puzzle real fast.
Yeah.
So
you got more questions.
I mean, I'm just going. This is my Stephen A. moment. Like, I'm just going here,
Yeah, he's coming up. He's coming with it now. Here he goes.
Be like, so who was this player? If you don't mind, I mean, you don't have to tell. But who's the player for the Broncos? I'm curious. I think I have a name, but I'm curious. But
he's not. I mean, he's playing special teams right now. His name is Andre Mintz. So he played at Vanderbilt. I'm from Nashville, so like,
right.
I met him a while back, and I recruited him pretty tough. And I believed in him, man. Like, I really believed in him. And I knew, like, some way, somehow, that he was going to be on the NFL roster. My guy thought practice squad. And another thing you guys have to realize, I don't know if you probably already know this, but if your client is on a practice squad, you don't get any money from that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I
Didn't know that
that
piece. I
either.
thought that's because you're on the team. I was like, you're on the practice squad.
Right, because he's still getting paid for being on the practice
Yeah.
squad.
He's getting paid, but you can't. The NFLPA won't let you charge him for that. So even if you put $55,000 into him to train him, and he only makes the practice squad, you still lost. Like unless he can get on an active roster.
You don't get a percentage of that at all, like 4%, 3%, 2%,
No.
percent, 0.5%, something.
Nothing, unless he's on that active roster. That man, and getting that paragraph 5 money, you get nothing. So like it's really, really, really a gamble, man. It's fun, but it's a gamble, and it's really stressful at times, especially for the small guys like myself.
Okay, it's tough.
that is tough. That hurt my soul. Like, dang, I didn't even know. Like, you can't even get money for practice squad people. Like, he on the brink of making it. So okay, so let me ask you this: like, if he's on the practice squad, right? Everyone get hit with COVID. At least everyone in his position get hit with COVID. He brings up to the active roster for that week or whatever. Would you get paid for that 1 week that he's on elevated?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, there's some hope.
Yes, sir. Because you have to. You still would have to negotiate. You still have to negotiate that salary for them bringing him up, because practice squad is a different type of contract. So right. Like they will call you and say, hey, we want to sign him for this, for blah, blah, blah. And you still have to negotiate like, all right, well, give us this much money, and we'll play on that roster, or we'll make that roster. So you still get paid off of that. But practice squad is generally like, really a lot of it is set scale. But there's a lot of room for negotiation. But with practice squad, it's just a set scale. So, and it's so, according to the PA, it's so low that an agent can't get money off of it.
Man, okay. All right, so we talk about investing money into athletes and stuff. Like, how long does it typically, in a perfect world, say, everything goes smoothly and whatnot, how long would it take you to kind of recoup the value of what you put into somebody?
Man, that's actually an amazing question. That's something that me and my partner talk about all the time, simply because at one point in time, he was even questioning if he wanted to continue as far as NFL, because he didn't really see the benefit. So let's just say, like, and again, this is I'm giving hypothetical because I don't have my CBA in front of me, but hypothetically speaking, you land a good player and you only take, let's just say, 2% from this player, and this player doesn't get a big signing bonus, but he does get the paragraph 5, which is probably like $600,000. So when I say paragraph 5, that's generally what I mean is his yearly salary for his rookie year is going to be this amount. So $605,000. You take 2% of $605,000, and that's what you're going to get. Then you have to pay the taxes out of it. So yeah, that's what you get for that year. And generally, a rookie first rounders get a 5th-year option. 2nd through 7th round, I believe, get 4 years. Undrafted rookies get 3-year contracts. So you'll probably see green maybe in the 2nd or 3rd year, maybe, depending on how much you pay to train that player. But housing, training, that stuff costs, man. Stuff costs. So it's like, you really have to just be strategic and know who you're dealing with, and know, like, you have to negotiate your butt off too to try to get a decent signing bonus, because if that person gets a decent signing bonus, there's a good chance you can see gold, you can see green in the 1st year. But if that person doesn't get a good signing bonus, then you're probably looking not to see green until the 2nd or 3rd year, and then you'll barely be over that. Most of the big money's in the 2nd, the re-signing.
I see. Man, that's tough though. Like, that's so okay. So let me ask you this. So with being, a smaller agency and whatnot, you invest in, like, how do you come up if you don't mind me asking, like, how do you put yourself in a situation where you can afford to invest X amount of dollars in these people, especially when you're starting out. A lot of people don't got that money. Some agency, they just spending their own money to invest in players or whatnot. How do you get to the point where you're able to fund these athletes initially?
I have to partner with the agency. As you can see, based on my logo, I have my own company, but I partner with Tribe Sports Group, simply because I can't, you know what I mean? So it's like, depending on who I'm trying to get, I mean, there's some players I can get and I can probably front the money on my own, depending on where they train. And, if they're staying at home, they're going to drive their own car, different things like that. They're going to fund their own meals, but I can pay for your training. But a lot of them, man, I have to partner with the agency. That's why, like, it's kind of imperative, man, that honestly, one thing I can really say and advice that I will really give is, yeah, go ahead and partner with an agency if you're a new agent, simply because unless you have those kind of funds, if you take a gamble and you lose, it's going to be hard to recoup, very hard. If you take a gamble on a player, you really believe in the player, and Desmond, you kind of mentioned this earlier, that player gets injured, Lord forbid, man, you just really went into the red a lot of money, man. It's going to be hard
Real
to come
quick. Real quick. Wow. Okay. So let me ask you this then. So, why should people consider the smaller agencies versus like the more established agencies that's been out there doing it for, as long as the league's been around?
I would say the attention and the effort. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be able to do things for you that a lot of the big time agents don't have time to do. That they're too busy negotiating for this guy or going to visit this guy. Not saying they don't have people to do so, because a lot of the big time guys have people under them that they can send. But with me, you get me, like Desmond needs me to go check on somebody, a cousin in Minnesota while he's playing in Dallas. I'm flying to Minnesota tomorrow, man. I had to bring my kids with me, but I'm flying to Minnesota tomorrow. Jawan needs me to go check on someone in Oakland. He's playing in Charlotte. I'm going to Oakland tomorrow, man. I can go check on this for you, and I'll meet you for the game on Sunday and things like that, man. So, I mean, you get me all the time. With those big agencies, good luck. You're probably going to get somebody, an assistant or something.
Yeah, I rather deal with you. You my guy. I signed with you, not somebody else.
I appreciate it, man.
Me.
I appreciate it. Sending you over the paperwork.
I got you. But okay, so with that being said, how has like the NIL, affected things or changed things at all? Like, have you had a chance to represent someone as far as NIL regards, or like you've been looking or pursuing people that you can represent for NIL?
Man, the whole NIL situation for us, man, I'm probably gonna be talking too much with this story, but I'm gonna make this story very brief. When NIL first started, man, we got it. Man, I don't even really know if I should say this, but I'm gonna say it. When NIL first started,
we can always go back and edit it out if you feel uncomfortable later.
No, you're good. When NIL first started, man, we got the email for Alabama Agent Day. So University of Alabama doesn't let you talk to their players for unless you go through Agent Day. So we applied for Agent Day, made our marketing packages, sent it to the players, but Agent Day never came. So it's supposed to be around that July 1st date when NIL first hit. So we were really waiting to really meet with the Alabama football players. So we really held back on a lot of different other players because, of course, Alabama is like the premier program in college football in the entire United States. So we were really excited about that. But long story short, it never came. So we missed out on some other guys that we potentially could have had. We did end up meeting with a lot of different players, but a lot of people were really skeptical of the entire thing because they didn't really want to risk their eligibility, and because certain states had different guidelines and different rules about, and they still do. Like certain states have different guidelines and rules about NIL, about how much percentage the actual marketing agent can receive. Like I know in South Carolina, a marketing agent can't get any more than 10% from any NIL deal. They put a cap on it. That's not the same here in Tennessee. I don't think there is a cap. So we met with a ton of players, but the players that we met with were all kind of like skeptical about it. I actually think it does help the smaller agencies a lot, just for the simple fact of it gives us a chance now. So now we can actually get in and try to market ourselves and work for them while they're in college, to kind of show like, this is who we are. And that's my game plan, is to get in while people are still in college and work hard and try to get them deals and show them that, hey man, I can be your professional agent as well. So I think it really helps, but on another end, man, it's a lot of gray area for some really, really crazy stuff to happen. You know what I mean?
I feel it. I hear you. I hear you. One of the things that you mentioned when it comes to becoming an agent is that you had to take a test. You know, how difficult was that test to take? You know, what were some of the strategies you had to do in order to prepare yourself to take that test?
That test was the hardest test I've ever taken in my life.
Damn.
Yeah.
That says a lot though, because this man, he started off trying to be, doing a biology and meteorology. And he said this is the hardest test he took. And he in matter of fact, he even took the LSAT to become a lawyer. So
yeah,
that says a lot.
The pass-fail rate, I believe, is like 75% fail every year, the NFLPA exam. So the first year I failed it. And when I tell you I was the most confident man in the world that I passed, like I was Diddy bopping down the streets of Washington, D.C. Like, yeah, I'm the next big agent, baby. When I tell you I was so like distraught, heartbroken, when I got that, sorry, you did not pass. So I was like, man, you only get one more time. And if you don't pass it that second time, you have to sit out for 5 years and then take it again. And you still have to pay $2,500 again. So it's $2,500 to take the test too. So the next year, I didn't have to pay the $2,500 again, but I did have to like fund my family, because of course my wife and my kid wanted to go to, had to fund us back to DC, pay for lounging, pay for our hotel, and take the test. This time I was not confident. I was like, you know what God has for me is for me, and I will find a job somewhere else. But when the results came, man, it was like, congratulations, man. I threw my phone in the air. I couldn't believe it, man. I was substituting at a little middle school at the time, man. I think I hugged like 7 or 8 kids. We celebrated. We jumped around like we just won the NBA championship.
Kids probably didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, they did, man. They was like, man, why are you so happy? And I told them, they was like, yeah. So we celebrated, man. I had brought the kids like chips and candy and cookies the next day because I had to substitute again. Man, it was a blessing, man, to finally get to achieve my dream, man. But when COVID hit, back to square one. But it's all good, man. Yeah. We're bouncing back now, and we're gonna make it.
That's right. Well, I definitely believe in you, man, just based off everything that you seem real genuine, man, and you seem super down to earth and super nice, man. So I definitely, especially your brother, I always wish the best for, for us out there, man, because I know how difficult it can be.
I appreciate it, man. Seriously, man. I definitely love encouragement from other brothers, man. And I definitely believe in my brothers as well, man, especially Stephen A. Stewart over there.
Yo, I'm gonna have to introduce him as that from now on. Now,
Wow. Wow.
he gonna get 2 AKAs on this. So I already called him Juwan. I already called him Juwan Polo Man Stewart. So now he's gonna be Stephen A. Stewart as well.
Go ahead. Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's fine.
Go.
Whatever. Go
Let's
ahead.
Go.
That's fine. Whatever.
I'm for it.
Crazy. Jeez.
I'm for it. So, okay. So we did a lot of talking about the NFL stuff. Let's talk, if we can get into talk about the NBA so far. What made you want to go down that path? Because I know one of the things you mentioned was you wanted to diversify it, be like a diversified sports agent. So, what made you want to do the NBA and also get into the FIBA side of things as well?
Yeah, man, I'm a big basketball fan. I'm a big sports fan. And I felt like I could really handle the load of both. Even if when my clientele starts to increase, I really still feel like I can handle the load of both. I really feel like I really want to do this. So like, I really had to ask myself and challenge myself before I took the NBA test. Another partner of mine, his name is Henry Washington. He took the NBA test with me. He's NBA certified as well. He partners with my company as well. When we took the test, I really just asked myself, like, number one, do you think you can handle the load of both? And do you think you could be great at both? And I really felt like my dream of being a sports agent would definitely be more broader, and maybe that's not the term I'm looking for, more fulfilled for me if I was able to do both, since I love both so much. I'm a big NBA fan and NFL fan. So I really just had to just take the opportunity. Now that test really, it wasn't that bad, to be honest with you. It was like probably 9 hard questions, but you can only miss 8. So out of 60 questions, you can only miss 8, and 9 of them are pretty difficult. But if you can conquer those 9, you're pretty good.
So I guess let's talk about if we can the test. So what kind of questions? Example of a question that they would ask
you. So they'll give you a scale, right? So they'll give you a pass scale of NBA draft, draft picks, and they'll say, let me just say someone. Let me just say Dort from Oklahoma City. Let's say he was drafted in the 2nd round of the 2018 draft. He was let's go back. Let's say he was drafted in the 1st round. He was the 30th pick. Mm-hmm. If he gets the full salary that he's able to receive, what will his salary be in year 3 of his contract? Oh. So if he gets the full salary, you can negotiate up to 120% of the rookie scale. So 20% on top of what the scale actually is at 100%. So, if it's $1 million, you can negotiate for $1,200,000. So extra 20% on top of that. And if he continues that and they keep giving him that increase at 120%, what will his salary be in year 3 with the increase? And you have a scale, and based on the scale, you have to like calculate the numbers and say, well, if they give this amount, it's this amount, things like that. It's
okay. So it's a lot of math.
Yeah, it sounds simple, but it's it's really, really difficult. Then they'll ask you like, well, how much, if this player gets $3,890,318 in year 4 of his contract, he's a rookie, how much are you able to get? So based off a rookie contract, an agent can only get you can go up to the max 120 minus 80%. 100%, 120% of what he's getting minus 80% of his salary, and you subtract that, then take 4% from that number. Really, 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 really confusing, like really, really difficult stuff. Like
good math.
Yeah, math for sure. Heavy on the math.
If you ever look at the CBAs, like one day, just randomly look at the CBA for the NFL and the CBA of the NBA, it's some fairly difficult stuff, man. You will see why they're always arguing about stuff that's in it.
That's a homework assignment for us.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
One thing that I know that you've talked about a lot has been your faith, throughout everything that we talked about so far. How has like your faith played a part of your career?
It's been the most important thing, man. Because I mean, like without it, I would probably be the D word, man. By the D word, I mean depressed, man, because I've really hit some pitfalls as far as like, I talked about it earlier, man, having opportunities to have a guy sign who is actually on the roster and missing out. I don't know if you guys know this, man, but you have a very strict limit on your license, man. If you don't negotiate a contract in 3 years, you completely lose your certification. So time is ticking. Once you get your certification, if you don't negotiate a contract, then after 3 years, the PA says deuces. So time is ticking, man. So you really have to negotiate a contract. But I really feel like God has me, man. And I just have to be patient. And I have to work hard. I can't cut corners. I have to do what's right. And really, man, just really keep the faith at all times, man. I can't get down on myself. I have to just keep a smile on my face and keep pushing.
That's big on everything. So like we both, like me and Juwan, or my bad, Stephen A. Stewart, we both, men of faith. So definitely it's always good to hear other people's testimonies to have that faith, propel them to the next day and the next moment, and they don't let, past things happen, transpire to keep them down. So, and without faith, you say you would have been depressed. I know for me, without faith right now, I don't know where I'd be, but I just, appreciate God for always watching over me and protecting me, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've definitely had some obstacles in my life, man, where I have a found appreciation of life, man, and just enjoying every moment, man, and just realizing, man, that we're here to serve and we're here to spread love, joy, and really just be. I say in my prayer every day, man, just let me be a shining light of you, of Him. You know what I mean? Like, let me just be a shining light of you. If I can't do anything else, just let people see that I love you. You know what I mean? And
Facts.
I say that in all my prayers, man. So I think, hey, I'm definitely not perfect, and I definitely have my pitfalls, but I try. You know what I mean? I give that effort.
That's all we can do at the end of the day.
Amen. Look, I want to say that. Amen. Amen.
Well, yeah. Okay. So real quick, we're gonna ask you one last question before we go into the rapid fire. What was the best day of your career and worst day of your career?
Oh, man.
No, that's good when somebody laugh before they say it. That's some good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We got some good stuff coming right here.
Man, best day of my career was receiving, and this is prior to COVID. I had signed 2 guys, Kevin Grant and Cam Watkins, and I received like 5 phone calls from NFL teams in one day about interest in both my players. So that was probably the best day of my career. The worst day of my career, man, crazy. I'll make this quick. Crazy story, y'all. I woke up. I went to sleep one night. I had a former client. He sent me some film, and it was him going against an NFL player. And I had, do what agents do, like just trying to just, pump my player, and I posted on my social media page. Mind you, I was very new to social media. Like I haven't had social media. I didn't have social media again until I became an agent in 2019. Like that's how new I am to social media, because I tried to avoid it. I posted the film and I was like, here's my client, going against, great NFL player, blah, blah, blah. I went to bed. I woke up to several phone calls and text messages, and my phone going crazy. So all of a sudden, I was very new to Twitter. I had well over 100 notifications. The player had retweeted my tweet talking about me. Not really talking about me, but like pissed off at me, like, "Are you trying to embarrass me, huh? Blah, 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 blah." I was like, what? And all of the fans from the Tennessee Titans were attacking me, like,
oh Lord.
Yeah, it was bad, bro. You know what? Forget it. It was AJ Brown. Like it was AJ Brown. AJ Brown. It was he had retweeted it.
Oh wow.
And I was confused because, to be real with you, I didn't say anything bad about him at all. Matter of fact, I called him great. I was just like, here's my client doing some one-on-ones with him, because my client went to Ole Miss with him. And the film that he had was practice film. You know what I mean? So like he had that practice film of him, a lot of practice film of him going against AJ one-on-one. And, I didn't say my client got the best of him. I just said, like, hey, man, he proved he can play against great NFL talent. That didn't go well. That didn't go well at all. So I had a mutual guy who reached out to AJ, and he made peace between us, because I was furious. And of course, AJ was pissed because he retweeted it. But, cooler heads. It was crazy. Back then, the PA used to put up, like, they used to have our profiles on there, and it had my home address on there. So like the Titans fans, like, they were so pissed, they were posting like my profile with my home address.
Oh,
that's disrespectful.
So it got real. I had to make a phone call, like, hey man, tell him take that down now. And he obliged. So
But
y'all laugh though, man. So I'm interested to hear y'all story about AJ Brown.
But my question is, I guess, why was he so upset? Like what happened in the video that was so bad?
Still to this day, I've been trying to respectfully, like, I couldn't reach out to him just because of, like,
the player.
Yeah. Like, I don't want his
tampering type of thing.
So, like, I wanted to reach out to him, but I've been waiting, praying to God that I run into him in person. And I've been close several times, because like we had some real bad tornadoes down here,
right.
And like last year, I mean this year too, but last year it was really bad in Nashville, and I was doing cleanup and he was doing cleanup, but I just missed him, and we were on the same street because my aunt's house had a tree fall through her house. Thank God she was okay. Yeah. But I was doing cleanup on her street, and then when I left and I looked at the news, he was down there. I was like, no. But still to this day, Juwan, I'm sorry for the long answer, but
no, you good.
To this day, I do not know. I swear I didn't say anything bad. The film really wasn't that bad. It was just like some one-on-ones, and like, to be honest with you, my player even, like, you can kind of say it was pass interference, like, but my purpose was like, I'm new to the agent game. I'm just trying to get my player's name out there. Let me just tweet. So, and I do this with all my players, just tweet like some good film, some good energy, give them good, what an agent's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I still don't know to this day, because it really wasn't that serious. But he retweeted it, man. When I say it got so many like retweets, I was like, what? I went viral, dude. It was trending.
That's crazy.
And I'm trying to think.
You try to think about it, remember. So you think about it. we gonna keep pushing this interview forward because I know he got.
I know, but all I'm saying, I'm not gonna say. We'll talk off air. We'll talk off air. That's all I'm saying.
We had to catch it. Yeah, we had to catch
we'll
up.
Talk off air.
Well, yeah, Rolando, man, it's been good so far. It's been a pleasure. We can go ahead and transition to our rapid fire round, which we call the game within the game. So our very first question is, are you ready to play?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the very first question that we typically ask to start this off with is, do you prefer chocolate chip cookies, oatmeal raisin, oatmeal chocolate chip, sugar cookies, or snickerdoodle?
I didn't think he was gonna put snickerdoodle in. I'm gonna go with oatmeal raisins though.
Oh, let's go. Jawan is the resident chocolate chip fan on the podcast, and so I'm the oatmeal person. That's why you saw his reaction, like, oh, what the hell? Like, we was vibing this whole time, and then you just said chocolate chip. That was his reaction.
Chocolate chip's dope, but I'm more an oatmeal raisin guy.
Okay, that's fine. It's 13-5 though. I mean,
that's cool.
So I'm telling you, 13-5.
That's cool. I take one small victory at a time.
Okay. That's about as bad as your fantasy team.
It is. No cap.
Take that with you. Your next question is TV shows or movies?
TV shows. I don't really like movies.
What's your TV shows of choice right now?
American Crime Story.
Okay.
We heard that a couple of times.
Yeah. The O.J. Simpson trial and then the Bill Clinton trial, that was really good. So y'all got to check that out.
Yeah, I seen the O.J. one. Definitely seen that one. I ain't seen the Bill one yet though.
Oh, Hillary, you'll love it.
Oh man.
All right, I'm gonna ask this basketball question. I'm gonna try to be careful with asking these basketball questions. I know you can't, say X and Y because you're certified in the league or not. I'm gonna ask about people that played beforehand. So Vince Carter or Tracy McGrady?
McGrady.
He said
no hesitation. No hesitation. Why? Look, why?
I'm a huge T-Mac fan, and I felt like Vince was very athletic, and Vince was a really good player. But I don't think Vince was at that A tier level. I feel like T-Mac reached that tier A level barely. I'll give T-Mac like an A-. His game was A+, but like his accomplishments were like, scoring champ, but never past first round. So I got to give him A-. Vince was very athletic, but I felt like his game never really got past B+. And Vince, if you see this, I mean, no disrespect. I love you too, but please don't retweet me. Like, please.
I think that's a fair assessment, though. I really think so. I mean, Grady's my pick over the two, so hopefully I don't go viral with Rolando. But yeah,
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not saying a word. I'm not gonna say
now you're not saying a word.
I'm not gonna say a word. I got another one though.
Well, ask the question then.
So Kobe or Jordan?
I cried when Kobe passed away. And I was the most anti-Kobe player in the world. Like, I'm a Celtics fan. Like,
oh, that's terrible. That's just terrible.
Hold on now.
That's just terrible. I'm a Laker fan, so I just have to say it's just terrible.
Understood. But Jordan, of course, but I really, 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 when I look back in retrospect, have a super tremendous amount of respect for Kobe. I have to get that out. When he was playing, it was like, no, I'm good. He just shoot a lot. But like now in retrospect, even before, the tragic accident, I still had developed a tremendous amount of respect. When he started talking more and like telling us why he acted certain type of ways, I understood, and I gravitated towards him a lot. But LeBron is still better.
Ooh, he just hit you with an uppercut on the way out. That's what he did.
I'm gonna let you have that one. I'm not gonna say nothing. We're not gonna turn this into a debate show, okay? I'm gonna just let you have that one, okay? I'm not gonna say a word. Desmond, ask the next question because I could go in, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, snap.
Look, I'm not gonna do that. You're gonna get me flustered in this chair right now. This chair almost got flipped, okay? The Celtics fan always know, they know what to say to Lakers fan to piss them off. See, that's just what the problem is. They know what to say. They're gonna say that throw LeBron in there. Ain't nobody want to hear about no LeBron. We barely make it out of the first round this year. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Desmond, ask the next question. Come on.
I would like to say this really quick. I do not like the way you Lakers fans disrespect Shaq, but that's a whole nother subject too.
No, I like Shaq though.
Y'all are very disrespectful towards him.
I thought Shaq is our best big man we've ever had, other than Kareem.
Okay, that's why I like you. You know what I mean? Like you have respect. A lot of Lakers fans I know, they just be like, "Yeah, Kobe carry Shaq." I'd be like, "What?" Yeah,
no. They both. It was a equally yoked type of thing. They needed each other to get to that level. Sometimes Shaq carried Kobe more than anything.
Okay, there we go.
That's just because early Kobe wasn't on Shaq low. Shaq was, they created the Shaq rule. Like you can't beat that. Like that, come on now. You had to foul this man because he was dominating you that whole game. Right. Like, come on.
Right.
Yeah, no.
My bad, Desmond.
Yeah. No, you good. I will say this about Juwan. He is realist when it comes to his team. So, you know, very realist. So we both are, to our respective teams. So, all right. So back on track here. All right.
Hold on, Desmond. Before you say that, we played tonight too. By the way, I just want you to know that 8 o'clock. I just want you to know that we played.
You are absolutely correct.
I'll be watching laughing.
So the Bulls need to come on with it.
I mean, we'll take the L tonight. We still got people.
No, I'm saying we probably gonna lose. I'm saying because we probably
gonna lose. We had to cancel 2 of the games earlier this week. This team ain't playing the whole week.
We got don't get me started on AD, but we got paper mache boy with the just built of glass. Okay, we got glass.
Yeah,
glass.
He's definitely been disappointing me.
He's the reason why the team is right now. He's the reason. They could blame Russ all they want. It's not Russ. It's AD. That's the problem.
Because he's supposed to be the best person on that team, but we're gonna talk about that later. All right, Rolando. If you can go pro in any sport other than football, what would it be?
Basketball. Or a tie between basketball and boxing.
That's the first. We never had a boxing. That's the first.
That's real. Yeah.
Now, okay, boxing. Did you watch the little fight last night?
Ooh.
I'm still kind of sick about it, to be honest with you. I feel like now I really feel like I'm one of them people who feel like it was rigged.
Yeah.
Now I really do.
Oh.
The fact that he didn't get up and go to the hospital and how fast he got up on his knees, I just felt like I was like, I don't know. And plus he put his hand down, like hit me. I don't even want to oh my God.
Look, I've only watched it in slow motion, but it looked like he timed it. Like, I don't know. It was like some it was like an eye contact.
Right.
And then he went in. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But okay. Riddle me this. Why would a former UFC champion, now he used to win in UFC, why would you take a knockout to a dude that's just been boxing? Why?
Because they don't get paid much in UFC. He's made more money boxing this dude probably than his last 4 UFC fights combined, and he was champion at least one of those. And then he hasn't won a UFC fight in literally 4 years. He hasn't won any fight. He's been getting slaughtered. He lost the belt to Kamaru Usman 4 years ago. and he hasn't won a fight since. That's what makes me mad about it too. Is like people like jumping on Jake, and I'm like, man, this dude's not really even a boxer like that. Like,
yeah. Like Jake been fighting these people that he pretty sure he could either be on par with or he can beat. That's the thing. Like, there's some people out there that Jake could probably get his ass knocked out. You know, depending on who he fights.
If he went and go for somebody that was real prime time, yeah, he probably would be. But I mean, you pick your opponents wisely. That's what you do. I get it.
That's what he's doing the Floyd. He's doing the Floyd approach. You know, choosing wisely who he fight.
That's definitely what Floyd did.
Now, some people don't like my opinion on Floyd, so I'm not gonna say it. I just keep my peace.
Ask the next question.
If you could be a hype man for any artist, who would it be?
Hip hop artist or
any artist?
Yeah, man, any artist.
Any artist.
Because it's rapid fire, I'm gonna go with Jeezy.
Okay, Jeezy's been giving some respect on this podcast. So the past couple of episodes,
this is the second time I done heard Jeezy's name mentioned in the hip hop. Well, no, third or fourth time mentioned in the hip hop thing. So yeah, Jeezy's been getting love for sure.
Only because it's rapid though. Like if I had time to think, of course, like another heartbreaking situation. I initially would have said Dolph. I've been
Tennessee, yeah.
I've been a huge Dolph fan for a long time. So, I would have said Dolph, but he's gone. So
that one was tough. That was tough. That one still kind of troubles me sometimes, but
yeah, for sure. All right. Your favorite sports moment that you either seen or witnessed?
2008 Celtics championship.
You just had to rub that in, didn't you? Just
no hesitation.
Just had to rub that on in there, huh?
I was ready for him to start getting the final play-by-play.
Absolutely no question about it, man. We went from the worst team, and so many people at my college were Lakers fans. And I told people we were going to win it for sure. And they laughed at me. They taunted me. They mocked me. And I had the last laugh. So, 2008 Celtics championship.
Yeah, I knew at the game too. I was like, yeah, they're not ready. Pau Gasol's not ready. I knew then. I said Kobe can only do so much.
He was balling too, though, man.
Yeah,
he was.
He had me nervous. And I hate soccer championships to this day. I'll say this something. Sasha, if I see you, we fighting.
Hey, look, that's a great shooter. All right. So if you could take over any organization, who would you choose? I mean, this could be anything. We're talking Chase Bank, non-for-profit. It could be the Cowboys. I mean, it could be the Celtics. It could be whoever you want it to be, whatever business you want. Oh, of course.
Initially, I was going to say Miami Dolphins, just because I like the city, man. But when you said the Celtics, I was like, oh, of course.
No brainer.
Some of the Lakers cheating, how y'all get all these players without losing money.
I have no comment.
We're going to get Dame. We're going to get Kyrie back. I'd be like, damn, where are these?
I ain't saying, I don't know nothing. They doing something in them contracts and rewriting some money somewhere. They throwing it off of books at least 3-4 years. I don't know what they be doing.
We're going to bring D-Wade back. We're going to bring back Bob. We're going to get everybody. LeBron called him. He already said it. I'm like, damn, they getting the referees.
Everybody. Yo, let's go ahead and get out of this episode. So, Rolando, one last question there, man. Where can people follow you and keep up your career and keep up with everything that you got going on?
Yes, sir. So, my Instagram is my agency page. So, it's at Shannon Management. And on Twitter, it's at NFL Agent Row.
But you heard it
Get
here
that a
first.
follow.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely gonna hit up and follows as all of our listeners and subscribers out there. Go ahead, give this man a follow. He's well deserves it. Definitely want to promote everything that he got going on. Big shout out to Rolando. For all of our listeners, subscribers out there, go ahead, continue to follow us and like our tweets are on Twitter at CTG_podcast. On Instagram is also CTG_podcast. We're also on Facebook and YouTube at Capturing the Game Podcast, and we can also be found on your favorite podcast platform, whether it be Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. All those podcast platforms. Just punch in Capturing the Game Podcast. Rolando, man, it's been dope, super fun having you on, man. I've got really major insights on what it takes to be an agent, man, and also just have a great fun conversation, man. It's always dope to be able to hang out with another brother on out here on these podcasts.
I really enjoy myself, man. I really have a lot of appreciation for you guys, man. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.